Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is my first video filming on my new camera. I bought the Canon G7X. Now the thing is, I was like fine with filming on my iPhone 11 because like it's good to like just walk around and film whatever you want to film. It's so much easier as well, like setting up and all that stuff. But the quality just like, it was all right, but it didn't like really maximize its potential. And also whenever I like film and I was like editing it out, my face would be like flipped because like, you know how the iPhone like flips your face. So that would just frustrate me, and like I know you guys wouldn't have noticed that, but I noticed it because obviously like it's my own face. Anyways, I'm so excited to film more videos on this new camera because like this camera literally is so good. The quality is going to be so much better. Literally the brightness is so much better. Everything's just so much better about it, and it's so easy to use as well. I'm so excited to film this first video with it. I tried filming this video yesterday and the day before, but I just like couldn't get my words out and I didn't know how to use the camera properly. So it just like wasn't really working out, and I just got really flustered and I was like sweating and stuff. But that's besides the point. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get into the modeling industry and how you guys can become a model in 2021, because obviously the new year is literally 2 days away in Australia. I'm not sure how far away it is wherever else you live, but it's 2 days away in Australia, and I know for a lot of you girls and guys this is like something that you really want to accomplish in 2021, which is becoming a model. So I'm going to help you guys with some tips. Now I've done a few of these other videos, so I'll link them in my description box below so you can also watch those because they're really useful, and it's just basically my tips and tricks of how you can get into the industry. But for today's video I'm going to share with you guys the tips that I use, and this is like not just like the normal things that I'd say in a video. This is literally exactly how I got into the modeling industry, how I got scouted by IMG Models, and how you guys can too if you want to become a model in 2021. Yeah. So the first tip I have for you guys is to keep it natural. I said this in my last video with modeling, and I'll say it again because it is so important. There are so many Instagram accounts who are like girls who want to get scouted, but they're like caked in foundation. And honestly, my biggest tip is to basically keep it basic. Keep your clothes as basic as possible. I'm literally just wearing this. I'm literally wearing these shorts and this top. Like I would post an Instagram photo in this. If you're wearing like basic clothes like this, then it first of all shows off your physique. If you're wearing like a skinny jeans, that's really good. And obviously like that, it plays like a big role in modeling as well. They want to see how tall you are, how long your legs are, things like that. And then even like with your face, like obviously like girls are allowed to wear makeup, but if you're wearing a cake face of makeup in every single photo and you're tagging like We Love Your Jeans or whatever modeling agency you wish to tag to try and get scouted by, it doesn't really show them what you look like at all. Because if you think about it, like girls can look completely different. You've seen those transformation videos of girls like before makeup and then girls what they're wearing after makeup, and some people can look like two completely different people. They can even hide all their skin or how their skin actually is, things like that. But it's really important to keep it natural because then they can see exactly what you look like, your base face. Because if you think about it, you want your face and your whole body and just like you in general, when you're modeling, you're like a blank canvas. So then whenever you go to your shoots or like modeling gigs, things like that, the makeup artists and the hairstylists, they're basically working with like a blank canvas. I need to emphasize it because it's so true. It's what got me into the modeling industry. It's what got me scouted on Instagram, so do that as well. Another thing to do to keep it natural is to not make a separate account, because I know a lot of people make separate accounts and they'll post photos purely for getting scouted. But if you actually show your normal account, show what your life is like, show your dog in some photos, show what you're doing on the weekends, things like that. It just shows your whole life. It makes it so authentic because you want to show them your personality. That plays a big role in just being who you are as a model. And this might sound a bit like cliche, but it literally is so important to just show who you are, like on your Instagram, and for them to see that they can see what your life is like, who you are, where you live, not in a creepy way, but like, you know what I mean. And showing off your personality as well. If you want to make a video, or if you take a funny video and you just look really funny in it, just post it. Like honestly, I don't understand why everyone just takes Instagram so seriously. Who cares? I find it so fun and so refreshing seeing someone post an Instagram photo and they literally just look completely authentically themselves. It's so refreshing and it's so good to look at. Also, just a side note, I saw in my IMG video that I made on like how I got scouted, everyone was asking me who I contacted. I'll leave Jenny Rose's Instagram right here because she's the lady that I contacted. She's so lovely. And that's how I got scouted by IMG. But moving on to the second tip is safety. Now this is so important because there are so many accounts on Instagram, if you're getting scouted on Instagram, there's so many fake modeling agencies who basically are trying to pretend that they're a modeling agency when they're not really, and they might use photos that you take in a bad way, things like that. They might text you and then it might lead to dangerous situations, all that type of stuff. But basically what I'm trying to get at here is you need to know like what agencies are actually like legit and which agencies are like really risky and like a bit sus. You don't want to get yourself into a bad situation and be in danger, anything like that. Like, this is just meant to be modeling. So what I recommend to stay safe when you're doing it is literally search up on like Google, search up any like modeling agencies that are in your area, see their Instagram, see if their Instagrams look legit. Now obviously Instagram isn't always like a proper good useful way to see if their like Instagram is legit and stuff, because people can buy followers now, people can buy likes, people can post photos that have taken from other accounts, things like that. But literally most of the time you can pretty much tell. Moving on to my next tip. Oh my gosh, I'm literally sweating right now. And the aircon's on. Oh, see, this is what you get when it's summer in Australia, but I love it so much. I reckon summer in Australia is so good. Anyway, moving on to my next tip is research the modeling industry. I didn't do this at the start, and I mean, it doesn't, like, it's not something you have to do, but I reckon when you become a model, it is so helpful, and it just makes you feel so good knowing about your industry that you're in. Because if you think about it, if you're a model and you're in the modeling industry, but you haven't done any research, you don't know anything about models, you don't know anything about the modeling industry, it's just sort of like, I don't know, it doesn't align. Like, it doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Just literally search up like things like how to walk, or like modeling brands, like how fashion week works, but like just things like that. Just figure out like how it all works in the industry, like photographers that are well known, models that are well known. It's so good to get to know models. That is so important as well, like knowing models in the industry, because they're going to be like your friends later on, so it's good to know about them before you get into the modeling industry as well. Now, my next tip is how to pose. I just find it so useful, and I'll share with you a little story time. But pretty much the reason why I find it really important to know how to pose is because I remember I went to my first photo shoot ever, and she was the best photographer ever. She was so sweet. I was literally so nervous for the photo shoot, but I basically went into it. She was telling me exactly what to do, exactly how to pose, and that made me feel so much better. Because going into the modeling industry, if you're going for your first few photo shoots, if you don't know how to pose, it's really like scary, and it like really like intimidates me. It makes me nervous, because you're like, oh, how am I supposed to know how to move in front of the camera? I've never done this before. And it is something that takes a really long time to get used to. It takes a lot of practice, and I'm still getting used to it myself. But basically, I did the first photo shoot and it was perfectly fine. She taught me how to pose, all that stuff. She was telling me like all these different moves, and like every time she get the camera out, she'd say, okay, put your arm on the chair like that. It was so useful like that, because I knew exactly what I had to do and it wasn't just left up to me. But then when I got to my second photo shoot, I was so nervous because the photographer wanted me to just pose. They were like, okay, just start moving in front of the camera and stuff. And now, like, looking back, I can see exactly why I was nervous, because when you haven't done any like experience before, you have no idea what you're going into, you don't know how you're going to move, and that's so normal. I like still sometimes feel awkward in front of the camera, not as much at all because I'm more used to it by now. I'm just like, oh, it's a camera. If you literally treat it like your best friend, the camera is going to be your best friend. It's just like, oh, hey, like I'm just going on like another hangout with my best friend, you're just like posing for your best friend type thing. But literally, I was so nervous for the second photo shoot because I had no idea what to do, and all the photos didn't turn out as good as I wanted, because literally I was so awkward, and I felt so like what's the word called when you're like really like closed off, I guess, because I wasn't comfortable in front of the camera, so I couldn't really like move freely and like pose the way I wanted to pose. So what I recommend is literally, and this is what my modeling agency told me to do, and this is literally what I do all the time, and I find it so fun. You guys can make this so fun if you want to make it fun. So what you do is I literally get in front of my mirror, just find a mirror wherever you have it. It could be in the bathroom, it could be anywhere. Play like your really good hype music, or just any music that you just enjoy that makes you feel so good, like your feel good playlist, that type of thing. And I just get out a chair, because the chair is like my favorite prop, and I'll sit in there, I'll move around, just basically move around and see, okay, I look good doing this pose, I look good with my head here, I look good with my head here. And if you practice posing and moving around more, it's going to become so frequent, your brain's just going to get so used to it, and it's just going to become something that comes so fluently to you. I find it so useful, so definitely do that. So when you do get into the modeling industry, it makes it so much easier to be like, okay, now I already know what to do, I've practiced for this, I'm ready. Because I'm telling you guys now, for my second ever photo shoot, I was not ready for that. Oh, I've been kneeling for like 10 minutes and I'm like sore. Okay, I just need to stretch my legs. Okay, she's ready for the last tip. Oh, So my final tip for you guys is dealing with rejection, because obviously a lot of the time in the modeling industry, this can go for people who are getting into the modeling industry trying to get scouted, or girls and guys who are in the modeling industry already and they've gotten rejected by like castings and everything like that. There is a lot of rejection in the modeling industry. Like, you're going to do so many castings, but you're only going to get a few of them every time. And that's just a part of the modeling industry. That's just how it works. But every casting is still just as important. It helps with your experience. It helps with getting more opportunities, all that type of stuff. But the way I deal with rejection, and also there's a video that Romee made, and she is literally, she's so stunning. Seems like such a down-to-earth person. I'll link her video in the description box below because it is so good. So watch that definitely after you watch this video, but please stay to watch this video first. Yeah, is basically try and see yourself as a product, because literally, like, if you think about it, models are pretty much like, I'm the product of my own business. What that means is literally, like, when you do get rejected by a casting, say you get rejected by a modeling agency, all that type of stuff, is you don't take it personally, purely because you know, like, if you are your own product, your product is the thing that's getting rejected. A lot of the time I used to get like, I didn't get hurt, but like, you know, I'd get a bit like really upset when I wouldn't get a casting, because I was like, oh, what if it was my personality? What if they didn't like who I was? What if I came off as too shy or too this or too that? Because obviously you're gonna be, I know you guys, you're such lovely people, like, you're gonna be fine. And that also means that other modeling agencies aren't going to accept you, because there are so many modeling agencies. There's literally so many modeling agencies in the whole world. Just because you don't get signed by one agency doesn't mean another agency isn't going to love and accept you for your look, because not all agencies are looking for a particular look. Maybe the look that you have isn't the one that they wanted. Doesn't mean you're ugly, doesn't mean that you have to put yourself down, doesn't mean you have to lower your self-esteem. It just means that it wasn't what they're looking for, and that's completely fine. My last tip is to get in contact, and I know I said last tip for the one before, but while I was saying that, I've like thought of this one, so I'm going to say this one, but this is actually the last tip, is to try and get in contact with people who are in the industry already, or people who also want to get into the industry. So for example, a lot of you guys who I talk to on Instagram and stuff, you guys can contact me, get in contact with me, I'll talk to you. I know I said I don't do that in the previous videos, but I know how to like deal with it now. So talk to me, and also talk to each other like in the comments and stuff, because you guys are all in the same boat, you all want the same thing. So if you can help each other out, it really makes a difference, because going into the industry, it's so much better when you have friends. I remember when I first started out, didn't have many friends, but that's okay, because everyone was so lovely, and every single place you go with a modeling job, you got to make friends wherever you go. Whatever agency you're with, you're going to make friends wherever you go. Everyone is so down to earth, they're so lovely, we're all so lovely together. That's why I love my channel so much, because literally because of you guys, I like literally feel like when I'm not with my camera, well, my camera now, I literally feel like I'm missing you guys. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to them again. Like, that's literally how connected I feel to you guys. But yeah, literally make friends in the industry, make friends who want the same thing, because if you can build each other up, I assure you, you're going to get there. You can gain so much off each other, you can gain tips from each other, everything like that. It's just so helpful, and it makes you feel so much more comfortable and so much less daunting when you're actually going into the industry. Oh, I need to like breathe for a second. So those are all my tips that I have for you guys for getting into the modeling industry and becoming a model in 2021. I really hope you guys achieve your dreams, becoming a model, becoming your own product. I know you guys are all capable of doing it. I love you guys all so much. Please like, comment and subscribe if you want to, but you definitely do not have to. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!